What's up, guys? It's Kid Conservative here. I am back with finally another video. I know it's been so long, man. I have not been active at all recently, and I apologize for that. Dude, I have no time, and I'm really focusing on my music slash gaming channel right now. I just put up a drum cover of Avenged Sevenfold, Bat Country, and doing like reaction videos and stuff like that. But anyways, I'm back here, and today I just kind of wanted to talk about like all the stuff that's happening that I kind of missed, like for example the monuments being taken down, and all this stuff that's happening, stuff with coronavirus and Trump and just everything basically. So first I want to address the monument situation. So a lot of these protesters and rioters, they're taking down these monuments. They're ruining these monuments and like putting graffiti on them and things like that. And while some of them I understand, like some statues are like, okay, I kind of get it, like those people were like racist, like Confederate statues. It's like, all right, it makes sense why they would want to do that. Personally, I think that they should remain there, not to be celebrated, but to be looked at as like, that's what you don't want, right? You know what I mean? So like, you don't want to forget the history, because if you forget the history, then the chances of you going back to what happened in history are more likely, and then there are people who are like tearing down and ruining statues of like Abraham Lincoln and George Washington and people like that, and it is crazy to me. I see some of this stuff online and I'm like, there's no way that's actually happening. There's no way people are that stupid. Lincoln was literally the president who abolished slavery and was on the Union side. He did not like slavery. You're protesting Black Lives Matter, and like, you're saying that all these statues are racist and like slavery was bad and all this other stuff, and then you go ahead and ruin and tear down statues that represent abolishing slavery. That is literally it is so crazy. It is so crazy to me. Like, did you go to school? Did you go to school before doing this? Like, I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me. But well, that kind of ticks me off a little bit. I fully understand these protests, and I understand why they're being taken place. These people, they think that Black people are oppressed and that something needs to change. Systemic racism is a problem in America. That's what they're fighting against, and you can't blame them. You can't blame people for thinking the way they do, because this is what the media wants them to think. This is what the colleges and the professors want them to think. You know what I mean? They don't think for themselves. And I'm not saying that they're stupid. Well, some of them are, but I'm not saying that all of them are. But it's just, you have to look at facts. You have to look at stats as well. And believe it or not, right? And this is according to the FBI, the official website. 55% of police brutality, unarmed killing, innocent killings are white people, and 27% are Black people. So white people are getting killed by police at a higher rate than Black people, but the only ones that you ever hear about are the Black people, because the media has an agenda to fulfill. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. And not a lot of people know this. Not a lot of people know this statistic, because, like I said, the media doesn't show you. The media doesn't show anything that involves what their agenda doesn't, connect with, I guess. I don't know if that made any sense, but that's basically what's going on, and it's sad, So, with the whole, like, this all lives matter, Black Lives Matter, everything, I understand, so I personally don't really agree with the whole all lives matter, but I also don't really agree with the Black Lives Matter, because like I guess I understand both sides, but when somebody says all lives matter, the argument against that is, okay, well, of course all lives matter, but right now we're specifically talking about a specific race who are being under attack and, there needs to be a change, and yada, 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 right? I get that point of view, and I get why people would think that, but like I said just a second ago, I mean, it's not true, okay? Black people are not oppressed. The victim, this victim mentality that they have, and it's not their fault. Like I said, don't take what I say out of context, right? It's not, and not all of them either. I'm talking about the ones who genuinely think that they are oppressed and that, ACAB and all of that stuff. But like, there is no law that targets them in a negative way. There is no law, so systematically they are not oppressed at all, okay? Now, obviously, there are racists, right? But there are racists for every race, okay? Some black people are racist to white people. Some white people are racist to black people. And, goes on with every race that exists, all right? That's how it is. It's how humans are. And there's really nothing that we can really do about that except for better the education systems. And of course, everyone wants to blame all of this on Trump, right? They all want to blame Trump. I don't even know how they're blaming it on Trump, but they're finding a way. I'm seeing all this stuff. They're like, oh, Trump did it. It's Trump's fault. What? It's Trump's fault that a police officer in a Democratic-run city, in a Democratic-run state, that's his fault. What? It's his fault that the police officer killed George Floyd. It just doesn't really make any sense now, does it? Trump has not done anything wrong. In fact, Trump has done essentially everything right. Now, I'm not saying he's done everything right. Obviously, he's a human. He's not going to do everything right. But the way he's handling all of this, like with everything, with the riots, with just everything, coronavirus, it's good. It's good. The only thing that I disagree with Trump on it is when he said that he wanted to make stepping on and burning the American flag illegal. I don't agree with that. Personally, I would never do that, and if you do that, I kind of don't really have any respect for you. But I think that as an American, you have the right to do it, and I think that should not be infringed. It's under the First Amendment, it's freedom of expression, right? So that's the only real thing that I disagree with him on in this whole situation. But, everybody wants to blame him. And it's nothing new. I mean, everybody blames him for everything, and it's, like I said, I blame on the media. I don't blame people for not liking Trump, because it's, like I said so many times, it's not their fault. It's the media's fault. The media has an agenda to push, and it's sad. But anyways, I think that's going to do it for this video. If you liked it, hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. Turn on the bell notifications. If you have any comments whatsoever, make sure to comment them below. Feel free to just, if you have any criticism or any arguments, disagree with me, whatever, I don't care. You can comment that below. Just don't be toxic, don't be disrespectful, because, I wouldn't do that to you, and I expect the same in return. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video, so I'll see you on the next one. Peace.